I think that the border is definitely the number one priority right now. It is a crisis that is impacting everyone and every other issue that we come across. And in addition to that, cost of living and inflation is probably right up there along. If you were to ask anybody around you, they would say that the cost of living is absolutely killing them at the grocery store, when they're trying to open a business, anything. And then additionally, I would say medical freedom and keeping the government out of medical decision making and allowing physicians and patients to have conversations and be able to make their medical decision what's best for them without the government involvement. Well, I'm a small business owner in the community, and so for me, it's a huge thing. And I think we have to account for not only large businesses, but small businesses as well, and understand how legislation can impact in favor of one over the other, and ensure that we're making sure that the free market is extremely protected and thought about throughout the legislative process. So for public education, I think we have to really listen to our educators. I do believe that parental choice is important and parental involvement has to be there. But I also think we have to take care of our teachers. My mom is a retired Texas teacher for over 40 years. And so for me, I understand that the struggles that they encounter every day. So, and we have to understand that most of our children are going to be educated within our public education system. So I do believe in school choice and parental choice, but I do think that we have to do that in a way that protects our public school systems and protects our teachers and ensures that we're getting the best of the best that want to be teachers in Texas. So I think, in general for transportation, we have to make sure that we have good infrastructure, roads available, but we also have to make sure we don't have people building in perpetuity just because we need to make money off of that, and that we're, having taxpayers fund those roads, because they just want to change something, to keep it going and keep the tolls going. So I think we need to focus on being good fiduciaries of the taxpayers' money, ensuring that we have good infrastructure, roads that are safe, and keeping those to a point where hopefully we're not continually having to pay tolls forever, and we're not encouraging that to continue beyond once the road is paid for. In addition to that, I actually had a business at an airport before, so I understand the increased costs and the importance of our airports as well in our economy and being able to get goods and things transferred. It goes to our cost of living. So we definitely have to support those endeavors as well. This is a big issue, especially for Part of Senate District 30 out in some of our more rural counties. They have very outdated water plants and water pipes, and also in Wichita County specifically, they have a huge problem where drought has been a problem. So I think we actually have to look at the experts and say, how do we ensure that we have enough water to supply for these communities? Because what also it does, if you don't have water supply, businesses aren't coming there, people aren't moving there. It also makes things extraordinarily more expensive to get water in. So we have to use, the people who are experts in, being able to, if you're a farmer, being able to have your wells and not have the government, impede that ability to, have for your own, dig for your own water. And then, there's also additional experts that say, maybe we can increase this reservoir by lifting a levee, or we can do things to help with that. But I also think we have to invest in ensuring that some of these older water plants and facilities are actually up to date, and we're helping these small communities that are struggling with this. They really are struggling with it, to ensure that they actually have the ability to take care of their community and water is available in a safe manner. So I think that workforce development is very important throughout this district. It's very different in different parts of this district. There's 11 counties in Senate District 30. So what it is in Frisco is not necessarily what it is in Sherman and Wichita. Wichita is not growing near the pace of the rest of this district, and where as Frisco is. So I think we do have to ensure that we are, thinking about everybody and how everybody's different. And I think that one size fits all approaches in the legislature are something that is continuing to be a problem for some of these initiatives. And so when we talk about workforce development, we talk about growth in and around some of these communities that are rural now, but maybe becoming a little bit more like Frisco or Plano will have the ability to do so without the state encumbering them with excessive mandates and other things going on. So the recent in the last few sessions, we've had a increase in oversight from the state on some of our local governments. And while that may be beneficial in some areas, it may not work for other counties. And so we have to really look at that and remove some of those barriers for communities to increase their workforce and increase people coming in and make it a business-friendly environment, not just in the urban areas, but also thinking about our rural communities as well. So I think the biggest thing is I don't want you to know me for the person who made more laws. I would prefer to be the person who blocks bad regulations that get in the way of innovation. I think one of the worst things we do is get in the way of Texans being Texans and allow private enterprise to do what they do best. And so what we can do is help remove barriers more than put new ones in. I think that we do need to be able to work with our colleagues across the aisle respectfully, but as a Republican, I am elected by people to be a Republican and to follow the Texas Republican Party platform and follow along that. So in that regard, my job is to represent what the people's voice is who elect me. And if they elect a Republican, they expect Republican priorities to be done. That being said, we can listen and understand from other side in order to make sure that we are doing the best things for Texans, because everybody does have a voice and everybody's voice is important.